There he is. Shepherding away. That's actually a stonecutter, I think. I don't think you shepherd with a pickaxe. Oh, no, that was the guy. He actually was shepherding with a pickaxe. Well, I mean, I don't know much about shepherding, so if he wants to shepherd with a pickaxe, it's on him. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Foundation. I'm your host, the Birdman. It is Falcon. This right here is a game I recently got a hold of. It is a sim colony building game. And you all know me, I love my sim colony building games, and we haven't really covered one in a while, I would say. We've been kind of really busy with a bunch of zombie stuff, so this came my way. I took it out for a spin, I really enjoyed it. I wanted to show it off to you guys here. If you guys enjoyed this, want to see a bit more, do let me know. We can definitely cover more of this going forward. Right now, this is early alpha, so there's a lot of missing features, but what I did play seemed very intriguing enough. So, let's start off over here. The first thing we'll probably have to do is acquire land. So, all this over here is what we could acquire, anything that's lighted up in green. And we'll be able to buy more land to progress down further and further into the world as we go along. There's also a piece of land over there too, huh? So I'm going to start over here. Our first quest is going to be to build a village center. So we come down over here to public building, village center. And I normally like to place this down somewhere here in the center area because, oh, it's called the village center, how cute. And he's going to be my first colonist here. I think they're called like serfs or something like that. I'm not really sure their name, but there they are. There's a lot of them. There's one dude. Oh my god, it's only one guy and a bunch of females. Dude, you got a harem happening here, do ya? No wonder he's so freaking happy. Look at the smile on his face. It's one dude with his own harem. Oh my god. Alrighty. So, next quest will be to reach a weekly profit of 500. In order to do that, we have to set up some markets and things like that. So, let's start off over here by going into... We need some resources, obviously. So let's set down a woodcutters camp. I would say somewhere back here works for me. We're also going to need a gathering camp to acquire some food and stuff for us to sell. So the gathering camp will probably be placed, I would say, over here is pretty good. We can rotate you a little bit too. Let's not get rid of those resources. I want to chop them down. So gathering camp right there works out for me as well. And we'll also need a stonecutters camp because we need some stones too. I guess for this one, since the stones are kind of like over here, we could place it a little bit closer to this area. Hopefully without getting rid of any resources. That'll do right there as well. Now, we need builders for this to all take place. So let's come down over here. I think for the most part right now, I want to start off with everybody as a builder. And we'll have some people run off and start building the things that we set down already. But I want to go builder all the way. I'm not sure if there's like a way to kind of like mass select people to do that. But it's usually one builder per area if I'm right. So let's go with that set of builder right there. We're also going to need a well in order for him to get some water. It also increases happiness, so I'm going to place this next to the food. We're going to be a very mushroom-focused colony to start off with. We're also going to need a place for us to sell those goods afterwards, so we'll set up the market gathering camp. I would say somewhere in the center would be fairly good for the market, so maybe down here is pretty good. So that's good. Now, one of the things that that's very important about this, which I wasn't aware of when I first started playing, and I was kind of like, okay, why aren't they doing anything? You have to set up areas for your little, I guess, like, part of the colony you have going on for, I guess, production, chopping down trees. You gotta mark them, essentially. So for that, you have to go over to paint development zones. And for extraction, we basically are gonna make this my entire town center, so everything's gonna go here at some point or another. So let's make this really big. And right now, we can just paint over whatever we want, right? So we'll go through all this here. And all that there. That's good. Oops. Right-click delete, so we don't want that happening. And we have one little tree over here, which should go at some point. Let's go ahead and mark you like that. Now let's go over to residential. These people are going to want to build some houses for themselves. This is something that I kind of messed up the first time when I played, too. They were like all like pissed off about having no living quarters, and I was like, I built them a manor, but they wouldn't go in there, and I was like, well, isn't that what you need for living quarters? But then I found out they actually build their houses themselves, but in order to do that, you have to set up a residential zone. So this will be the residential area out here in the outskirts for now. I think that'll work out. They should be able to cut that down on their own, and that's good. So now with that under control, we could go back into building stuff. And it does seem that the woodcutter is set up, so let's come down over here. We could assign up to... No, not Isabel. You get out of the way. We could assign up to 3 woodcutters, and that's going to be something very important. So let's start off with Emil as a woodcutter. Jane as a woodcutter. Good. So at least we'll set up 2 of them for now. We're very low on people. As we progress, more people will join from outside colonies. So for now, this is what we have to set up, though. Gathering camp is ready to go, too. This is be very important because we'll be selling a bunch of this early on for money, and also in order to keep them fed. We can set up to 3 of these dudes right now. So Walter, let's set you up as a gatherer along with Sophie. Gatherer right there. We'll go 2 and 2 for now. That's fine. Let's get these menus out of the way. So woodcutter set up, gathering set up, and a market is set up too. Over here we only need 1 person, so I'm gonna set this up as Agnes. You will be our what? Our master, our market tender. There you go. So off you go over here, picking up supplies and selling them off. Very good. Our Stonecutters Camp is also set up too. That requires up to 5 people because stone is a bit more harder to acquire than wood. So for that one, we'll go, at least for now, Stonecutter and Stonecutter. We're going to leave 1 builder for now because we got the most of the basic stuff done now. So all we really do is 1. Especially because you can't get like more than 1 person building 1 area. It's 1 per area that you're building. So that's going to work out here just fine. So at the moment, we're going to have to get some money first, which we do know for a fact that we'll be selling supplies from here once they're gathered. We also want to set ourselves up a warehouse so that all the extra goods could be moved there. And second of all, we're also going to need that in order for trading with other colonies eventually too. So let's go to back to building. And let's go into Sawmill. Will be very important because we want to turn that wood into planks eventually too for some of the more advanced buildings. But for now, we'll do a warehouse, which is going to cost me 50 gold. And the warehouse could probably be placed, I guess somewhere nearby the market makes sense to me. So we could do something like, where's the entrance? The entrance is right there. Stop freaking out. There you go. And obviously my 1 builder will get to that eventually. We're also going to need transporters. The transporters will be the ones that move the items from 1 location to the warehouse itself, which makes it a lot easier for us to trade eventually too. So for now, this is fine. We have woodcutter, gathering camp, we have the market, the stonecutter camp. Don't have the sawmill just yet, but we're a bit light on people, so I'm going to wait on that for a while. The well is here, which is something they are still building. Are you... Oh, you're moving stuff from the... Oh, that's my market person right there. That's the reason why you want to have the warehouse, because instead of having them go all the way to that location to pick stuff up, they can just come to the warehouse and just supply that way. Okay, so for now, I think this is fairly good. We could also build walls in order to set up, like, you know, like, I guess, like a barricade of some kind for our area, but that's something we will focus on later. Right now, our supplies are very low. We're also going to need a lot of tools for more of the advanced stuff down the line, but in order to get tools, I don't think we can make them early on. I think I got most of my tools by training with other colonies, but that's something that will show up eventually. So for now, let's go into 5 times speed. We'll let this over here, you know, marinate a little bit. We have my well. Going to be very good for people being happy. So there we go. We have global happiness of 56, 63. Uh-oh. What just happened? Okay. So we got the well complete. Villagers have reached a new status, serfs. So now they're serfs. Okay, so that's... originally, I have no idea what they were, but now they are serfs. And we have also unlocked 4 new buildings. So let's go back into... Let me slow her down here a little bit. And let's take a look at what we unlocked. We unlocked the sheep farm, the weaver hut, clothes market, and the wooden gate. So for the sheep farm, we're going to need that in order to make clothes. And we also want to sell clothes because clothes bring in some really, really good money for us. The problem is we are lacking individuals right now, so what would happen right now is that I want to say we'd have to pull somebody from a job. Now, what are we looking good on? Stone is only at 2, so we're fairly low on that. I would say we probably pull 1 woodcutter for now, which I hope is a good idea. We'll see. So, Jane... Well, actually, we'll keep you there for now. Let's just set up the sheep farm first to be built. This requires 20 wood, 20 stone, and 10 tools. So this will be the last of my tools for a while until we actually open up some trading with other colonies here. Now, before I commit to that, hold up. That's our first house right there, great. Let's go over to trade. And as we can see, we have neighboring cities. So in order to unlock this route, we need 20 planks, and in order to unlock this one, we need 20 food. The best way to do this early on, I found out, was to buy the bread or whatever that is from one area and then give it to them to open up that route. But we also need, you know what, we need planks. So you know what, we're gonna skip the sheep farm for now and go with the carpenter. And hopefully we get some people coming in pretty soon so I can kind of like spread my jobs around a bit. So let's go into making that Sawmill instead, which is going to require 20 and 10. We're very low on stone, but it'll eventually happen. So Sawmill. We'll place that Sawmill, let's see. Back over here is not bad, I would say, just because we have the woodcutter right next to it too, so it kind of makes sense. And what's cool about it too, I'm not sure if you're noticing, I'm pretty sure you have noticed, but there were, whatever they kind of walked through, that's their dirt road to that location. So, assuming I was to put this carpenter area all the way back here, they would form a road in order to walk over there. So I like that little feature right there alone. Now, I want to say that we're not really building too much supplies really quickly right now because we're shorthanded for one, but number two, since we're also building houses in the fly, we're using resources for that too. But if we don't build these now, their morale gets really low. Right now, they're at 81, which is fairly good. I actually, when I first took this out for a spin, I didn't know about the residential things I mentioned, so I went like 2 full grids of just, you know, progressing the colony without any houses, and this morale would never go up, and I'm like, what the hell do you want? And I noticed that they were pissed off about the lack of housing. And I thought this right here, this Lord Manor, was the housing. But no, it was actually, they had to set up some residential areas. So that's something that I missed. And I was like, oops. Oh, so we have 2 new villagers arriving to the colony. Perfect. Now, if we zoom out, we should be able to see them wherever they're at. Hold on. We should also see traders too. But I think before we see traders, we have to unlock the trade route. Let's see. I would like to see where these guys are coming from. It's really what you're seeing, like their route from really, really far off. You guys see them? Anybody spot them? I have the YouTube blindness, so you know, even though it's probably really in front of me, I'll miss it because I'm brains over here. Half of my brain's focusing on commentary, and the other one's focusing on trying to figure out what's happening in the game. I'm gonna stand really still. Where are these people at? Oh, I see them. Okay, I probably spotted them before you. I think I'm surprised. You see that? Here we go. There you go. Alright. I actually saw this little guy with his little red hat somewhere over there, and I was like, oh, I see movement. So there we go. We have 2 more people coming up, which should help us out with spreading out some jobs now. And for now, let's go into 5 times speed, just to gather up some more resources. Right now, we're doing fairly well. And here they are now. So let me slow this down momentarily to 1 times speed, and we have 2 people, Catherine and Victoria. So what can we kind of focus on right now? I would say we're going to need a carpenter pretty soon. Let me send one of you off to cut down some more wood for us. And the other person, let's see. What's going on with this over here? Oh, for the warehouse, we're missing planks. I getcha. But we are building the sawmill right here. We're missing a couple of stones for that, but right now he's working on the wood area. Okay, so we can't build the warehouse until we have planks. So even though I set that down, that's on me for not paying attention to what exactly needed. So, I guess for now, I pause? No, don't pause, don't pause, don't pause. Keep running. Keep running. I guess we'll set Victoria up for more wood cutting for now. Let's just build up our wood supply so we can just kind of chop, or at least progress that, or turn that into planks as soon as possible. Let's go to 5 times speed. Maybe we get some people soon, maybe we won't, we'll see. Now, right now, we're getting a little bit of money from what we're selling from this. We're literally selling it back to our own people for now, which is the reason why we're not going to get that thing completed until we actually start trading with other colonies. So that's going to be here for a while, because we're not selling enough to our own people to get up to 500 profit. We have a new quest, though, which is going to be to build the Lord Manor, and that's what confused me the first time. I thought that was the housing for everybody. Like, I thought they had, like, one single castle for everybody. I was like, oh, I'm really wrong about that. So, with this done, pause momentarily. So we got building complete house, right? Building complete sawmill, cool. So this will require at least 2 individuals. Let's go over here and set Victoria up for carpenter. And at least until we get enough plank, I'm going to set Isabel up as a carpenter as well. So nobody building for now because we're low on resources anyway. The next thing we'll probably end up building is going to be that warehouse, and then we'll set up the sheep farm afterwards. So at least for now, let's just have them work on gathering resources for us. And with any luck, we get some more people here pretty soon. So soon, we should be getting some planks. And the first thing we'll be doing is probably unlocking that trade route as soon as possible. And maybe selling off some extra supplies to one of my neighbors. And I'm not sure if the neighbors are on the map. Like, this is a really huge match which I could go off and just explore at, it does seem. 2 new villagers arriving, very cool. So it's a fairly big map. But I'm not sure if the trade route, the people that you open up trade routes, they're on the map themselves. They're kind of like imaginary. They're somewhere off in the blue abyss over there. Okay, for a second I got worried. I was like, oh, I lost my colony. Okay, so here we're fine. So 2 people coming up soon. We have 20 plank now. Perfect. So that means that we have enough for the warehouse. So let's slow it down momentarily. We have 2 people coming up. They haven't shown up just yet. We'll probably make them... We'll probably replace the builder that I'm going to remove right now. Actually, Isabel, you were by builder, right? I'll make one of them the carpenter, I'm thinking. So for now, you go back to being a builder and finish off that warehouse for me, and then we'll set up that sheep farm somewhere. Maybe over here, because we have a little bit of real estate over there. Now, right now, I'm happy with my morale. Especially up in the, almost in the 80 area, which isn't too bad. We could also give them clothes, which will also raise the morale more. But in order to do that, we need to get that sheep farm up and running first, so... That's the reason why it's kind of important, not only for money, but also to dress my people up. Because right now they're running on naked. I mean, some of them might have some clothes. The NPCs themselves might seem a little bit off, because you see them with clothes, right? But they're, believe me, they're naked. They're truly naked, or at least they need some coats or something. Now, who are you? You're Amalia. Oh, you're the person who just maybe arrived, maybe? Yeah, okay, so we have 2 people who arrived. Let's make you the carpenter. So we have 2 of those now. We have 3 woodcutters, 2 gatherers, 2 stonecutters. Stonecutters, that's like some Simpsons thing right there. Stonecutters. That was a great episode. Man, the classic Simpsons were so good, man. And what do we do with the rest here? Another cart. Let's get another stonecutter because that's a really harder thing to come by. There we go. And more than likely, we'll end up turning one of those extra stonecutters into a transporter for them to move all the stuff over to the warehouse. So, this should be done now. Come on. Pump away, pump away, pump away. There, you got it. Okay, so you... First and foremost, I don't know why it starts off this way, but it refuses all the goods, so we want to set everything to accept for now. I mean, eventually, I guess you'll probably have, like, different warehouses for different things, so you have, like, one area for nothing but stone, maybe another one for just food, and then you can kind of, like, you know, set up what you want to refuse, what you want to accept. But since right now we're in the start, we'll just accept everything here. And I believe, I'm pretty sure you're supposed to be the transporter job, so Amalia... I'm going to turn you into transporter and see if that's exactly the case. So, transporter for you. And let's see if that fills up this job at any point or another. If not, then I'm completely wrong about this. There it is, Amalia. So it is a transporter. We can set up 2 people here, but for now, again, we're low on individuals, so this will do. But our resources are going up. The problem now, though, is that we're low on tools. We have 10 at the moment. I think we set up our sheep farm now, maybe? No. You know what? I wanna... Well, do I? Do I not? Trade route or sheep farm? What do you guys think? We'll just go with the sheep farm. So, build and sheepy farm. Right over through here. And you'll be in the outskirts. I don't want you being too close to the business area over there. Alright, we have Isabel the builder who'll take care of that herself, and it's going to require what again? 10 tools, which we have enough of. 20 stone, which we have enough of, and wood, which is something we'll gather with our woodcutters here eventually. Now, you're also seeing that as we're progressing, we're getting less natural here, right? We have less trees now. It does seem like the stones do kind of stay the same, and so do the mushrooms, but the trees do eventually go down. I'm not sure if the stones and the shrooms are forever, but at least for now, I really haven't seen too big of a deal in terms of, like, their numbers dwindling down. But since there's like a smaller patch of like land, I guess maybe over time it'll disappear completely. While the trees are a bit more visible because it lets you build on top of them. So 2 more villagers are arriving, which is good. It'll help us out, spread out some more detail here. And luckily our supplies are looking fairly good now. Woodcutter, we're very low on wood, so we definitely do want to set up a couple of extra dudes on that. At the moment we have how many? I actually have everybody assigned to woodcutting that we can. Well, we'll see how that goes. Because it is looking pretty low, but then again, we're turning all of the extra wood into planks, so I guess that would probably be the issue here. And let's see here. Problem is, she's traveling really far in order to get this done. So maybe like setting up I would say like setting up a temporary warehouse next to where you're building could be good, but if it's only going to be temporary, I don't think it's really too important. But we are lacking wood and the tools still. We do have the tools on standby. So 2 of my extra dudes have shown up now, perfect. Let's see. Let me show you guys momentarily. Who needs jobs? Who needs help? So we have 2 people assigned to Sawmill, which is all we can do. Gathering could set up 1 extra person. So for now, Herman, let's put you into Gathering. How's my stone looking? We could set up a lot more workers at stone, it does seem. Only 1 market gatherer. So you know what? Jocks go into stone cutting as well for now. Alright. And this should almost be done. Now, once this is done, we have to set up a person to handle the sheep, too. Herd them and all that jazz. We would probably have to remove somebody off of, like, maybe Gathering for now. Or maybe even Carpenter, because we're doing pretty good with the planks. As a matter of fact, we're doing so good with the planks that I feel like we might as well just go ahead and unlock the trade route now. Let's go to trade. And let's unlock the trading with Davenport now. Okay. So now this is going to be where we get all the big money coming in. We can sell all the extra stuff that we do have. Let's go to trading resources. And whatever we have an excess amount of, we want to sell off. Now, we don't have too much to really trade off. I think the big money's going to come once we get some clothes to trade away. But for now, what I could do is let's go over to the berries for now. Mushrooms, berries, whatever. And let's see. They're buying berries for 2 gold each, rocks for 2 gold each, and planks for 2 gold each. I think berries would be the easier one here, so let's go to sell. And since we have like 60-something, we'll sell like 20 at a time. 20 times 2, that would be 40. So we're not going to get too much money off of this, but at least it's some gold to continue building small things as we go along over here. I might even want to push this up to like 25. Yeah. So because we have a person working the warehouse, we have this market person, this will take place eventually. I think you will see the trader from the other area show up. At some point, you can get a good eye on him. He just randomly shows up, though. So as long as the trade route is open, they'll come in and out at intervals. I'm not really sure what the intervals are, but they will show up eventually. Can we finish up the sheep house so that we could actually set somebody over here? What else is needed for this? Oh, the tools, which you brought now. Perfect. And 2 more people joining. Excellent. And this should be done now. Come on. That'll be prioritizing. Oh, there he is. And that right there was a trader. I believe he probably showed up and he dumped stuff off and... Let's see. Yeah. So this guy, he's a trader. He wants to buy 50 of those. I think he's the one from the other town. So he's either on his way here or he probably just came over here, picked up, and he left. Alright, but my sheep farm is ready to go. Perfect. So, I'm going to wrap it up here. This gives you a really good idea what this is all about. There's a lot more to do still. We have to expand outwards. We have to set up some other trade routes. And there's some more buildings we haven't touched on, like the manor. So if you guys want to see some more, do let me know and I'll definitely come back and cover more of this. Right now, this is kind of like the foundation right here. Oh, that's cute because the game's called Foundation. Oh, nothing gets by you, Falcon. But we do have a really nice foundation here. Quote unquote. And we'll definitely progress more from here. We do have to set up this little guy. But before we do run off... You get to spawn sheep. I think right now they haven't really set up this part of the game right. Or at least it hasn't been fleshed out. Because you could spawn a lot of sheep. And it tells you eventually, come on, don't abuse the system. So I think eventually they'll make it so that you only get sheep naturally as opposed to just spawning them yourself. Because I guess the more sheep you have, the more wool you get, so the more money you have. So there's really no reason why you should be low on money. Because you can spawn infinite amount of sheep, it does seem. And let's set up Jocks as my shepherd. And let's see, there you go. That's my cheapies right there. And then Jocks, my shepherd, will eventually show up over here. And there he is. Shepherding away. That's actually a stonecutter, I think. I don't think you shepherd with a pickaxe. I don't think so, anyway. Jocks, where you at? Jocks? Follow villager. Where's he at? There he goes. Okay, there he goes. Oh, no, that was the guy. He actually was shepherding with a pickaxe. Well... I mean, I don't know much about shepherding, so if he wants to shepherd with a pickaxe, it's on him. I'm going to wrap it up here, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to see some more, do let me know in the comments. Let me know by leaving a thumbs up, and we shall come back to this. I will catch you next time.